Hi and welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to do your Chinese horoscopes for 2021, the year of the ox. So we're going to do the year of the ox. So according to the Chinese Zodiac, 2021 is the year of the ox. And let's hope it's going to be a little bit better than 2020, because that was a pretty poor year for most people on just about every front. But this year is supposed to be a lot more lucky, actually. It's supposed to be a good time to focus on longer term things, but on relationships in particular. And I know a lot of you have been in lockdown, and that must be a terrible period for anybody that's single. But this is going to be a year when relationships can flourish quite well for most signs, actually, for all signs. It's better generally overall for everyone. And so it's a time also when you can make new friends. So I'm sure that as we gradually come out of this pandemic, people are going to want to socialise more. So the kind of the year of the ox is a pretty good one for socialising with friends. So it's generally a pretty positive sign, and it's a positive energy as we come out of this horrible coronavirus period of 2020. Now, the ox as a symbol in Chinese astrology is a very hard-working animal and very methodical. Right, so it's anything you have to do in life at the moment that requires hard work is the time to do it. This is the time when hard work brings rewards. It's not a time when sudden things come into your life and you suddenly make money and speculative things. This is where you have to be persevering, right? And any good luck you've had already, they say, will also be increased upon. So it's a time for consolidating your good luck. As the Chinese believe a great deal in luck, but this is a lucky time really for most people. The ox is a in Taoism they have this idea of yin and yang, which you've heard about. Well, the ox is dominated by the yin energy, so it's the passive female the passive female energy of the ox for this year. So it's going to be a time when the ox is a strong animal, and it's also a time when people can carry the weight of responsibilities. And it's a time also when we can redouble our efforts to achieve the things we want in life. And so this, for the world at large, is a time when we can make slow and steady progress, and also slow and steady release from the burdens of the past, actually, which, you know, of course has been paramount in 2020 with all the problems of coronavirus. So it's promising for a steady energy that will slowly bring us out of the crisis of 2020. So it's not going to be sudden releases and everything's going to be all right overnight. It's not. I think we've already understood that. As the vaccines roll out, the year will gradually get less and less stressed, even with all these additional variants coming in. You know, I made some predictions about that in my prediction period, didn't I? I told you all about that there'll be other viruses coming, which seems to be the case now. Nonetheless, I still think we'll get through it. So this is also the element for this animal, the ox, is metal. So this is a metal year. We had a metal year last year. So they say that the lucky colour for metal is the colour white. So that's supposed to be the positive colour. So it's a favourable year for economic recovery then, worldwide. And a period, again, like I said, perseverance and consolidation. These are kind of the key words for this sort of thing. And it's so, therefore, if you're making investments and things like that, this is the time for making long-term investments rather than short-term ones. I expect the stock market to go wild when we know the pandemic is completely over, but at the moment, and probably for this year still, you know, there's still uncertainty in the air, so it's probably best to put your money into long-term investments according to Chinese astrology. This is also a good time for anything connected. Like I said, it's connected, good for love and friends and things, but also a good time for family. And obviously, a lot of us have had to sort of withdraw to the confines of our family, and we're all stuck in at home. And our family are probably, for many of you, the closest people around you all the time. So this is still a year of good period for consolidation within the family, a time when there is order in the family. And order in the family, of course, brings there will be order in society. We have to start with the family always. This is actually a very interesting Chinese concept. If you look at it in, for example, the I Ching, it talks in the hexagram of the family. It always talks about that we make the family secure first. Then we go out and we make the society around us immediately with our friends and the relations. We make that balance, and then we extend out to the whole world. So it's a positive thing. It's coming back to the centre of things. It's a stable period. Now, I'm now going to move on to the individual signs. But if you're new to this channel, do follow us, because we have all sorts of things going on this channel. And we have every Friday, my wife Jane and myself give a talk about all sorts of paranormal things, and you can, in the live sessions, ask us questions and join in psychic experiments and all sorts of fun stuff that we have going on Fridays. And of course, you'll also get all sorts of predictions and things on this channel as well. So don't forget, click that little bell thing to subscribe, and click the bell motive when you do press the subscribe button, and you'll get updates about what's coming up. And there's loads coming up this year. 2021 horoscope for the sign of the sheep. Okay, also known as the goat sometimes, the sheep should have a reasonably good year this year. But it really is a time, the nature of the energy is such that it's perhaps a time when you're going to be looking at your life and thinking about where it's going and its purpose. It's a time of evaluating things, you know. And I think it's important for you at the energy at this time of year for the sign of the sheep is to think about where you've been, where you're going, and you're much more introverted in many ways. So you're going to be kind of not driven through this year. You're going to be kind of following the easier path. And you've got to be a little bit careful with finances during this time. It should be all right, but just be caution is required. It's a time of caution for you this year. People kind of, your nature is such that people can sometimes take advantage of you. You're a sign that is frightened to say no sometimes. You know, you say yes to everything. I think sometimes you have to say no to things as well. I know we all want to say yes to life, you know, but also sometimes you have to say no to people because they can burn you out and tire you out. So that's one of the things I think you should take home from watching this, is learn to say no a bit, you know, and that will help you maintain your energy through this time. 2021 will be a year of quite a lot of change for you. There should be growth, and there should be quite a lot of surprises coming your way, you know, because you're a very easygoing sign, and sometimes challenges you don't like, but often the challenges are the things that open up new pastures for you and bring you new things into the year. So it could be a very good time for you if you play your cards right and you learn to venture into unknown territory, as it were. You've got to be kind of a little bit more adventurous. Even though at the beginning of the year you are thinking about what you're doing, like I said, you're going to have this period where you're going to evaluate things, but then maybe the evaluation might teach you that we've got to try new things sometimes. We've got to take a new path. In fact, things could come to you kind of out of the blue. Finances could come to you out of the blue. Positive things. Relationships could come out of the blue. Unexpected things can come to the sheep during this year. And there may be chances for travel, and particularly travel connected to work. And opportunities could fall into your lap. Okay, so it's quite an interesting and kind of a mixed time I'm describing here. So, like I say, unexpected. Love at first sight, you know, their eyes met across the crowded room. That is the type of thing that could happen to you this year. So you're naturally quite you have a natural sort of elegance as a star sign for the sheep. You're affectionate sign. You're quite creative, and you tend to attract sympathetic people, people that might also be similar in your nature and also have the same romantic goals. So you may attract good fortune this year. And if you're already in a relationship, I think, it's a time of giving comfort and reassurance and support to your partner during the time of the ox. And this relationship could also still bloom, and it should be a very positive time generally. And generally, relationships can become much more intimate during a period of the ox. So you also become, because like I said at the beginning, you learn to say no sometimes. You therefore develop a little bit more of self-dependence during this year, and you don't become quite so dependent always on the help of other people. This is something that's in your nature. You tend to like to flock, as it were. You like to have others to come along with you, but you will have much more self-dependence, and you'll be able to rely much more on your own strength. And like I said, there's significant opportunities this year if you have the courage to take them, and particularly in terms of increasing your earnings in 2021. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that today. If you are interested, of course, in finding out about your future and particularly your astrology, I've got a load of astrologers working on my website at psychics.co.uk who will give you some forecasts for your way ahead and what the 2021 holds in store for you. And if you really want to sort of learn more about these type of subjects, do have a look at some of my books. Messages from the Universe particularly is a great book. I say it is my book, but it's a great insight, I think, into the forces of fate and where we're going in the world and the incredible things I discovered in India about astrology, as well as also my other books like the Psychic School, for example, which will teach you all about how to develop your own psychic gifts and so on. So have a look at some of that. Have a look at the website, particularly, and if you haven't already, and have a look at some of the articles there. And follow this channel, because if you follow this channel and you're new to this channel, you'll find that we're offering all sorts of interesting stuff all the time. And like I said at the top of the show, we have a Friday night show that comes on every Friday night live, and we have all sorts of interesting things going on there. A different topic every week. We approach things in different ways all the time, and you'll be able to meet myself and my wife, who's also psychic there, and you'll be able to ask us questions and enjoy psychic experiments and all sorts of interesting stuff that we do all the time. So follow the channel. It's very easy. Just click that little button at the bottom of the screen there, and then click the little bell thingy there, and it will mean that you get updates every time we release a new video. Anyway, thanks for joining us. See you all soon. Bye for now.
Would you like a personal psychic reading? Visit psychics.co.uk for quality international readings with Craig and his team of clairvoyants. Improve your life and find the path to a better future. You can book readings by phone or email. For a quality reading, visit psychics.co.uk now. They are the real deal.